This is the second test of the syringe extruder with the chocolate 3D printer. But a couple of failed attempts already on the board, but here we can see it's successfully printing out the outline of the 20mm test cube that I've asked it to print for me. It's done the outline nicely and it's infilling that first layer very successfully. Now the second layer is laid down, and we can see here there's a problem because the first layer hasn't solidified enough, and the second layer sort of gels in with the first layer and causes it to blob out a little bit. But again, the infill's working nicely. Third layer now. Again, you can see the outline being laid down. But here we begin to have a problem. We can see that there's actually a blockage in the nozzle and chocolate stopped being extruded. So I'm moving it to one side, having paused the print, and I'm going to apply a little bit of force to try and get that to unblock. You can see as it's printing that the way the lead screw has bent down the pusher, because the lead screw is so far away from the syringe. There's that leverage, and it's pulling itself down, but it's not actually applying the force correctly to the plunger. Anyway, a little bit of manual force here, it clears the blockage, and it should now resume the print. And there we are, it's flowing again nicely, filling in the layer that it missed, and now it's doing the next outline and beginning its infill process. When it flows, the extrusion is really beautiful. You can see the layer being laid down, and I think if I can get the cooling right, that's going to solidify very nicely. But first we've got to sort this extrusion out. Jumping ahead now towards the end of the print, you can see it's still laying down that square outline and infill, but the whole chocolate has blobbed out quite a lot now. There we go, another layer of, you can see the square outline and the infill. So the printer is following the shape it should do, but the chocolate's just spreading out too far, and that's a cooling problem. The gearing that I've included on the extruder motor is to increase the torque of that lead screw to pull down on the plunger. But the downside to that is the gears are so large that now the lead screw is a long way away from where the actual plunger is, and it's creating a leverage force down, but it's not actually pulling down. Here that noise is the motor going in reverse, releasing the pressure and bringing the plunger up to level with the pusher. And as it does so, suddenly all this chocolate begins to run out neatly. There's a problem with this design, so I'm going to have to rebuild it so that the lead screw is much closer to the plunger pusher.